Hi, I'm Apollinaria. I am a professional spiritual guide and facilitator. I've got 15 plus years of experience using somatic, psychological, and mystical modalities to do inner work. And today I want to talk to you about pain and discomfort and the role that those actually play in your life and in your growth and in your well-being. Most people have this relationship, whether conscious or unconscious, to pain, where they cling to happiness and then they just try their best to avoid pain. And that is an inherently dysfunctional relationship to life, which actually only causes more pain for you, pain for the people around you, and pain for the world that we're in, right? Psychologically, as far as your inner work goes, it's like the same kind of logic that like keeps, instead of like sweeping in your house and like picking up all the dust and the crumbs and whatever, it's the same kind of logic that just keeps like, sweeping them under the rug, or better yet, just like not even sweeping them, just ignoring them and not looking at them. All of the dust, all of the crumbs, all of the things on the floor, and next thing you know, you've got a roach infestation, girl. Boy, person, they, thems. So having this kind of avoiding approach to pain and to discomfort only creates more piles of pain and discomfort for you to stumble on, or for the people around you to stumble on and take care of, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it means to be in a more mature and more constructive relationship to pain, rather than an avoidant or a destructive relationship with pain. And I want to start by talking about something that you've probably heard of one way or another. It's the first noble truth of Buddhism. It's roughly and frequently translated to life is suffering. I think it would be a little bit more accurate to translate it to life includes suffering. What the first noble truth of Buddhism is functionally trying to do is assert that pain and discomfort and disappointment and grief and dissatisfaction are just an inherent part of this experience, right? And the only reason that they do that is because so many people are so inherently averse to it, because, people love happiness, people love joy, people love feeling good and satisfied. You don't need to tell them, hey, it's okay, it's just a part of life. They already know. However, pain, discomfort, friction, frustration, these things are what is actively needed to create a better relationship with, because allowing yourself to meet these things with acceptance, with equanimity, with respect, even to your pain, to your discomfort, to all these uncomfortable, horrible feelings and things, allowing yourself to actually just meet them allows you to, A, move through them and with them with increasing grace, B, grow and evolve to the actual and like most beautiful and potent depth of yourself and your existence, and C, ultimately facilitates the greatest conditions for your happiness, for your joy, and more importantly, for your peace and well-being. And I say more importantly because your actual peace and your actual well-being includes and is not limited to your happiness and your joy, right? And as the Buddhists know, it is in being a centered, a peaceful, and an allowing space and person for joy to come and go, for grief to come and go, for life to come and go, allows you to meet it most truly and to grow through all of it most authentically. Okay, so with that being said, let's take a look at how pain can be seen and understood as a friend and an ally in your life, right? So first of all, wisdom and maturity does not come from a frictionless existence, And just about all of us came into this life to gain some amount of wisdom, which means that just about all of us came into this life to experience some pain, right? So anything that's happening is in fact happening for you, not to you, right? For example, sometimes disappointment can be very humbling, and humbling is a very vital and important quality to cultivate, right? Specifically because the stronger and more capable that you get in this world, the more you need humility in order to just like be in right relationship with the larger world around you and its forces, which are always moving around you and moving you. And no matter how good and powerful and competent you get at shaping your life and your life and your world is always shaping you as well. And being humble to that relationship keeps you present, keeps you capable of meeting whatever comes your way, and keeps you grounded, right? Sometimes pain and disappointment cultivates patience, and that's good. That's so good, especially in this world, which is so demanding of this like synthetic pace of like constant achievement and increasing achievement, which is not real, and it's not sustainable, you know? So just like cultivating patience through disappointment, through like friction, through discomfort, is what allows you to attune to and center into and acclimate to your actual pace and rhythm in this life. And that's ultimately how you access your greatest and most authentic success and satisfaction. And again, peace in this life. Sometimes pain is ultimately what forges empathy, and the empathy and understanding of the suffering of others. And this might be an incredibly harsh lesson and learning curve sometimes, but the rewards are just as great because it allows you to be in deeper and more intimate connection with the people around you and with the world around you. And for those of us that know what it's like to feel disconnected and to be disconnected from the people in the world around us, you know how valuable that connection actually is. So again, a incredibly challenging, but an incredibly worthwhile and necessary quality to cultivate. In these and in many, many ways, pain is like the access point, the portal to some of our greatest strength, to some of our greatest depth, and to some of our greatest beauty and just like general character and spiritual growth, right, and development. And obviously, I'm not saying that pain is the only way to access these things, but pain and suffering and grief and disappointment and discomfort and fear and all of these things are an absolutely vital part of like the full picture of you growing into like truly the richest, the deepest, the most satisfied, the most actualized, and the happiest version of yourself that you're going to create in this life, right? I'm not saying that like, oh, you know, worship pain, like get off on pain, like fixate on pain. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am trying to say and cultivate and invite you towards is just a sincere honoring of the existential material, the valuable existential material that pain actually is, right? And to see it as more of something to master than escape. All right, with that said, let's take a look at some of the most common blockages to allowing yourself to experience whatever pain or discomfort is in front of you fully. Let's take a peek at some of the scariest monsters under the bed, because if you are avoiding pain consciously or unconsciously, you're probably really inherently terrified of what that pain could trigger in you and force you to look at and to confront and to contend with. For example, maybe someone rejected you in some way, or you perceived that they rejected you in some way. And allowing that pain in, allowing yourself to fully feel the pain of that rejection means that what you actually have to feel is a really deep underlying belief that you have that you are inherently unlovable or unfixably broken, right? And allowing yourself to feel that rejection would force you to come face to face with that belief and confront that belief. And it is just a belief. That's not a reality. That's just about never an actual reality, right? But the idea of coming face to face with it is too much for you, so you just don't even let yourself feel the actual feeling of rejection, and you shut off to it entirely. And you block that person out, you block the experience out, you avoid it, or you react really aggressively to it, and instead of like allowing the rejection in, you reject them first, or da-da-da-da-da. You know, who knows what fun defensive mechanisms could have been developed over time to stop you from just feeling the pain of that rejection, right? Which would, in reality, just let you, if you have the right tools, and if you have the right, like, seeds of self-love planted, in reality, what that experience could actually do for you is allow you to hold that part of yourself and meet that part of yourself that feels unlovable, that feels unfixable, to love that part of yourself until it is freed and healed, and until that belief is gone from your system, right? Another example is maybe allowing yourself to feel the grief of loss all the way, truly and deeply, would break you open in a way that you don't know if you can handle, in the way that you don't know if you have the right tools or the support system to handle. Maybe whatever frustration or friction or challenges in front of you is triggering like a whole knot of trauma and beliefs that's so tangled and so confusing and intense and overwhelming that you just freeze and you shut down at the thought of even addressing it, so you just keep ignoring it and you keep not looking at it, and you just get like increasingly more and more just upset and rigid and angry. Not funny, but been there. And maybe you're just now realizing that you have an avoidant relationship with pain, or you don't know how to deal with pain, and you haven't even started to wonder why. In all of these cases, there is a litany of tools that you can learn, that you can find in order to navigate these challenging spaces. They are available to you. There are plenty of people on the internet that are available to you to help you navigate these challenging spaces. Hi, myself included. It's literally what I'm here for, you know? This channel is dedicated to a variety of things, pretty much everything that's involved with just like self-mastery. But it is expressly right now dedicated to creating videos that help you, that empower you, that give you the tools and the perspectives that you need in order to address these challenges, in order to grow and evolve and like flesh out your toolkit in a way that helps you meet these challenges and actively grow through them and become a better, stronger, more realized, more empowered version of yourself through them. Rather than staying small and staying in this like little version of yourself that doesn't grow because it's just avoiding the pain. What you could do is learn to move and grow through the pain and become the truest, most expressed, most gorgeous, and most needed version of yourself possible, right? And happiest and most fun and joyful and and all of the wonderful things, right? But this world right now deeply, deeply, deeply and truly needs every single one of us to step into our strongest, most empowered, most authentic, most healed versions of ourselves. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for doing the work. And thank you for stepping up to that deep need. You know, all of us, we have a lot of work to do right now. And we can all do it together, and we can all make the work and the load lighter and more joyful. So if that's something you're interested in, thank you for being here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, If you want to follow along and get more tools and resources from me, and also if you just want to help the channel reach more people as well, that is a lovely thing to do. And that's all for today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Mwah.